Hey guys, the Dark Leandra here again. So in this video I would like to recommend 10 underrated Gothic novels because I absolutely love Gothic literature and I think there are some novels out there that deserve way more love than they get. Now I'm going to have to split this into two parts since I have 10 books to recommend, and the last time I tried to make a video of 20 minutes it never uploaded onto YouTube. It just wouldn't. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2. Now, the first book I would like to recommend is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This may not be an underrated novel in general, but as far as Gothic literature is concerned, it most definitely is. It's more of a Gothic romance type, which means you have the Byronic type of hero. I mean, Mr. Rochester was a very broody, moody type of hero with a very heavy past. Speaking of which, his past, yes. It's the way it's handled in the stories with a lot of mystery and suspense. It's definitely one of the main Gothic elements in the novel, and most especially the scene where Jane finally meets Bertha. Now, a lot of critics have said that Bertha can be read as a kind of double of Jane, and sorry, Bertha can be read as a kind of double of Jane. She's this wild, very wild, untamed side of Jane, which just I'm sorry guys, which just leads even more credence to the Gothic elements in this novel. Then you have the Red Room in which Jane is locked in as a child as a form of punishment. This causes her a lot of anxieties, a lot of dread, a lot of nightmares. Especially the description given of the room. It's associated with the idea of death and blood. Like there's something about a crimson damp cloth, for example. Also, later on in the novel, we find out that Jane's uncle died in that room, which makes it even more creepy, in my opinion. More Gothic elements would be of course, the telepathic communication between Jane and Rochester at the end, which is completely and utterly supernatural. There's nothing subtle about that at all. Last but not least, the description that is given of Thornfield Hall and the moors surrounding it. It's a very dark, remote, and dreary kind of place, which is a big feature of Gothic literature, isn't it? Also, Jane Eyre is actually one of my all-time favorite novels alongside Frankenstein, so of course I was going to talk about it. The next novel I would like to recommend is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Again, I'm pretty sure most people know what the story is about, so I'm not going to give a summary. Again, it's part of the Gothic romance type of genre. You have the Byronic type of hero, once again, this time incarnated by Maxime de Winter. You have the fire at the end. You have of course, the description and just general ambience and atmosphere that reigns on Manderley Hall. Again, just like for Thornfield Hall and Jane Eyre. Now, probably, in my opinion, the biggest element that contributes to the Gothic part of this novel is Mrs. Danvers, the caretaker, yes. She is this stand-in for Rebecca, and oh my gosh, she's just so awful. She constantly reminds our unnamed protagonist of how inferior she is to Rebecca, how Rebecca did everything so much better. She dressed so much better. She was well loved by everyone. Everyone loved her. She was so wonderful. She was so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Mrs. Danvers even gets the poor unnamed girl to start dressing like Rebecca, and even tries to push her to commit suicide at one point. That might have been a spoiler, except not really. I'm sorry. But yeah, this novel, as far as Gothic literature is concerned, is definitely underrated. Please go check it out if you haven't already. The next novel is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Now, I have a copy around the house somewhere, but I am just too lazy to go and get it. So yeah, no copy right now. Everyone knows the story of Everyone knows the story of the picture of Dorian Gray. Nevertheless, as far as Gothic literature goes, once again, it deserves a lot more love than it gets. Gothic elements now. You have the portrait, of course, the painting. I don't need to really go into detail with that now, do I? You have the room in which it is locked in. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of suspense surrounding that room. Dorian is desperate for no one to find the painting, for no one to see it. And hidden rooms, secret passageways are kind of a trademark of Gothic literature. I mean, what's a good Gothic novel without a hidden room or secret passageway? You can also the figure of the devil, which can be read in the character of Henry, Dorian's new friend who introduces him to hedonism, which leads Dorian down his very dark and destructive path. Yeah, those are some of the Gothic elements there. Go check it out. Oscar Wilde is really, really funny. Very hilarious. I love his sense of humor. This book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, is very, very quotable. It's very funny. Now, the next book I would like to recommend is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Now, this is the perfect novel to read to get you into the Halloween mood. So, it's basically the story. Ouch. Okay, here's my cat. Say hello, Ratatouille. No, he doesn't want to. Poor thing. He just wants to sit on my knees and purr. Basically, okay. Something Wicked This Way Comes. For those who don't know, this story is about a carnival that rolls into Greentown, which is in Illinois, a week before Halloween. Now, there are two boys in this story, who are the main characters, Jim and Will. They soon find out that there are weird things going on with this carnival. Very weird things, that the people in it are not quite what they seem. So they decide to figure out the mystery of this carnival. So they get involved with it. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding this carnival. And they get into trouble. And they have basically a lot of adventures. And that was not a good summary on my part. I apologize. I am not that good at summaries. Anyway, Ray Bradbury's writing style in this one is amazing. It really, truly is. Oh God, I love his writing style so much. He really knows how to write in this very poetic, dreamy kind of way. He perfectly encapsulates the Gothic type of atmosphere, the kind of weird, otherworldly type of atmosphere. So yes, if you're looking for a short and easy read, Halloween type of read, go check out Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's really, really good. Last book I'd like to recommend in this video, From the Dust Returned, again by Ray Bradbury. This book is actually really hard to sum up, so I strongly recommend that you go check out a summary for yourself on the internet. Basically, this novel regroups several stories concerning a family. There are several stories about various members of this family. They're a weird family. They've been around for a very long time. Some of them sleep during the daytime and only come out at night. Some of them have weird powers. You get the deal. Yeah, this book has... oh God, Ray Bradbury's writing style in this one is, oh my God, it's so amazing. I think it was oh my God. I think it was the Gothic Alice who described herself as being word drunk over Ray Bradbury's writing style as getting word drunk. And I think word drunk is perfectly appropriate because his writing style, especially in this one, is just, oh my God, it's so perfect. Again, it's so dreamy, it's so atmospheric, it's so poetic. It really captures the imagination. There is a feeling of doom throughout this story, a slight feeling of doom. Despite that, this does feel like a bit of a cozy read, so to speak. At least in my opinion, there was something quite cozy about it, so somewhat relaxing at times. Also, one thing I should add, Ray Bradbury was heavily influenced by the Addams Family when he wrote this novel. I don't like the Addams Family, but I like what he did. Well, I thought that was a pretty interesting fact, basically. And yes, you do feel a very strong touch of the Addams Family in this novel. which is a good thing actually. I mean, I may not like the Addams Family, but this book is really, really good. So yeah, that would be the first part to my first part to my recommendations of 10 underrated Gothic novels. Now, as I said before, some of these novels here you've already heard of, you already know the story without a doubt, but as far as Gothic literature is concerned, they are most definitely underrated. Now, I can promise you in the next video, apart from one novel, you have not heard of the rest. You can't have. Or if you have, hats off to you. You really love Gothic literature and you really know your stuff. So, let me know down below what other Gothic novels you think are very underrated. And whatever you do, stay tuned for part 2. Bye!